OMG, I'm so hungry. I want some chapati. Oh my god.
So hungry. Hello guys and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been a minute since I was last here. Life happened, but now I'm back. So on today's episode, we're gonna talk about carboholism. Well, yeah, carboholism is a thing and I have pretty much struggled with that a big part of my life, if not my entire life. And I know so many people struggle with this, and I have friends who have told me about that, and you're probably struggling with the same thing, and that's why you're watching this video right now. Okay, so for those who are not fully aware of what carboholism is basically just a fancy term used to refer to addiction or a strong craving towards foods that are rich in starch and sugars like bread or rice or cakes, biscuits, or basically just anything made out of wheat or flour. And they're mostly white in color. That's how you can easily identify foods that are rich in carbohydrate. Okay, so first things first, before we embark on how to kill this addiction, we first have to understand why our bodies crave it in the first place. Disclaimer, I am not a doctor, I am not a nutritionist, I do not have any background studies in medical education, but this is just a research that I have done over the past couple of years, and I have compared notes and I have come to learn a thing or two, and I have actually practiced it, and it has worked for me. And I feel like I should definitely share this with you guys. So sweet foods and those rich in carbs basically just like fire off a feel-good chemical in our brains. And the one that I can remember offhand, it's called dopamine. Basically, these chemicals will just make a person crave carbs and sugars repeatedly. So if you find yourself eating one piece of biscuit and then 5 minutes later you finish the whole box, don't feel guilty. It's not a sign of weakness, neither is it a sign of lack of self-discipline. It's just something beyond you and you can't control it. Okay, so the only way you can beat this is biologically. I don't know if I make sense with that, but basically just what I mean is that you have to understand how your body works in order to counter this effect. So let's get straight to the video. First things first, drink water. Well, I know you've heard this probably 1,000,001 times that you need to hydrate. And one of the many benefits that water has in your body is killing off those cravings. Sometimes when we're craving something, it's just that our body is thirsty, but our brain misinterprets this for hunger. So every time you feel like you're craving that cake, like, oh, I gotta go have that cake, eat biscuit, or just like mandazis, that's my addiction. Like, I'm obsessed with mandazis. Just like go and have one tall glass of water and just wait for like 2 or 3 minutes. And if you feel like your craving has gone away, then boom, you have succeeded in killing off that craving. It's just that your body was thirsty and you were not actually hungry. I cannot tell you how many times this has worked for me, and I always try to keep a glass of water next to me so that whenever I feel like I have a craving, I just like take a sip. And I know sometimes it's kind of like hard, you don't feel like drinking water because it's tasteless, or you don't really like the taste, but sometimes you just have to like force yourself. Well, this might sound absurd, but exercise actually does reduce your food cravings, especially for sugary foods and those rich in carbs. If you don't believe me, go and try experimenting this. A time when you feel like you're craving something sugary or rich in carbs, and then just go take a walk. Just take a long walk, then when you come back, you see if you'll still have the same cravings. It does kill it. It has worked for me several times. I always take morning walks, and then when I come back, my cravings for sugary stuff and carbohydrates really goes. I don't even have them. I don't even feel like eating them. You know, like one of the things that make people gain weight is definitely what you eat. And if you find yourself eating sugary foods and foods rich in carbs, you're definitely going to put on a lot of weight. But like you see, exercise does more than just helping you burn calories. It helps you stay away from eating unhealthy food. Okay, so another thing is playing a little mental game on yourself. So there's actually this thing called a fruit test. Yes, it's a thing. It's whereby you ask yourself, can I really eat an orange right now, or can I like snack on a banana? If your answer is no, then you're just craving. But if your answer is yes, it means that you're actually hungry. So that's how one of the ways that you can actually access if it's a craving or you're just like you're genuinely hungry. And another thing is just like just ask yourself, after eating this, what are the consequences later on? Just like try to indulge your mind, like remind yourself that, oh my god, it's gonna be so hard losing weight, or you really don't want to go back to where you were before. Remember, like maybe your weight loss journey, and it will kind of like put you in some kind of guilt not into eating it. I mean, yeah, it does work sometimes. And one thing I'm always like, don't listen to people who tell you that,
oh my god, life is short, just eat whatever you want to eat.
because I have so many friends who are like that, and it's so annoying, by the way. Yeah, if life is short, I don't want to spend my short life looking in the mirror and not liking what I see. Sometimes it works for me, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I'm like, I'll deal with it later, but that's not good. Yeah, but sometimes it actually helps me. I'm like, I've come from so far and I don't want to go back to where I was before. Okay, another thing is reducing stress. Well, I am a major victim of stuffing my face whenever I am stressed out. Like, I find myself really going to foods that are rich in starch and sugars to console myself. That's like my body's way of coping with stress, which is a really bad habit. Well, I mean, sometimes I just can't help it. I'm like, just fuck it. I'm going to snack on some mandazis because I just can't help myself. If it's, for example, I'm working and that's what is giving me like major stress and anxiety, I just find it like helpful if I just like back away for just a few minutes, try to get my head in order. Or like sometimes if I'm not working, maybe if it's something else, I try to find something to do. That's why it's good to have a hobby. For example, I can just like decide to go get a magazine and just like read an article, maybe go on Twitter and laugh a bit. Do something that just like take your mind off the stress. The main goal is just like try to avoid leaning towards eating as a stress reliever. Just find something else that will make you feel better. Exercising is actually one of the really good ways that helps like to relieve stress. Every time I go for my morning walk, it just like relieves me of the stress and I start my day well. It just feels so good. It actually does something to the body. And let's just try maybe meditating or yoga if it works for you. Just anything that will try to reduce your stress. Avoid hunger. So many people who are dieting tend to cut back on calories, which is not wrong. But the problem that this poses is that it makes you frequently hungry. So if you're going to be cutting back on calories, you have to put in healthy snacks in between meals. Make sure that you're not leaving room for you to be hungry for a longer period of time. Because, for example, if you're just like having breakfast and then you skip like 4 hours to lunch, then in between you're gonna get hungry, and when you get hungry you will definitely start craving for carbs, because that is what will give you a quick energy. So make sure that you're eating frequently. Just have snacks in between meals, like maybe peanuts in hand and something that will just keep your stomach just like okay, not hungry. If you've ever experienced this, for example, if you're dieting and then you wake up in the morning, you just eat something a little lunch, you just eat something small, and then when it comes to the evening, all hell literally breaks loose, and then you can literally eat everything in the fridge. It's because you're starving your body, and your body will retaliate against you. So if you're not going to eat enough during the day, then during the evening your body is not going to take it anymore. It's just going to break loose and you're just going to regret wasting your whole day. So just make sure that you're eating frequently. And one of the benefits of eating frequently is that it keeps your metabolism on its toes, so you actually will be burning calories throughout the day. And I don't mean that you should eat frequently a lot of food, just like small portions, and make sure it's healthy food. You're not like eating frequently and it's unhealthy food because it's zero work. Yeah, so make sure you stay away from hunger. Just like keep your stomach just full, not full really, but just keep it somewhere not hungry though. I have seen that from experience, and like many times that I have tried dieting but the dieting is not really my thing. I just like eat the right proportions. Every time I've tried dieting and then I eat just like a small amount of food during the day, I always just like blow up in the evening. I just end up stuffing my face and I'll just end up feeling so bad because I've just put all my efforts to waste. Eating more protein. I have a problem when it comes to this because it's like my body just doesn't crave protein. I don't really like meat apart from chicken, and at some point in life I was like, I'm gonna become vegan. Chicken is the only exception, but like when it comes to the rest, I'm just like not really into that. But once you get about protein is that it keeps you fuller for a longer period of time, and it actually will help reduce hunger pangs and those cravings. If you take a high protein diet or meal for breakfast, you'll find that your cravings for carbs will actually not be as much as when you skip breakfast or when you don't like eat a high protein breakfast. Actually, this works for me because every time I find myself eating maybe eggs for breakfast, I won't find myself like going for additional serving for extra carbs or starch. It just like works. It makes me fuller and it kills my cravings. I just don't even feel like going for sugary foods. It just works. I don't know, you try it and see if it works for you. So something else is that you need to plan times to indulge in your cravings. When you set out on a restrictive diet, it doesn't mean like you're not gonna eat cake for the rest of your life. That's why cheat days were invented, so that you can actually have like days to look forward to, or just like treat yourself and be like, oh yeah, this week I've been so good, I've exercised, eaten healthy, drank a lot of water, so I'm gonna treat myself to maybe just one cupcake on Saturday. I mean, don't end up overindulging again. Just like learn to have self-control on your cheat days again, so that you don't binge eat on so much calories and it's just gonna make your week go to waste. When you plan cheat days, it kind of like helps you to like stick to your diet. You can try chewing gum, try sugar-free gums. They kind of do help to reduce cravings, or they like kind of take your mind off the cravings. So like when you're chewing, it keeps you busy, keeps your mouth busy, so you will maybe probably end up forgetting about your craving. Okay, so the last thing I will tell you, just a piece of advice: don't feed your cravings. So when you learn not to give in to your cravings, over time you build a kind of like resistance, or like you make your brain stronger to such a kind of craving. It's like exercising your brain. It's like making it stronger, that every time you crave it, if you manage to get over it, if you manage to conquer your cravings, then your brain becomes stronger. Your brain even forgets about it. So like when you learn to kill your cravings, in the long term or in the long run, you will find yourself not indulging or not even thinking about it. It's like, I don't know, it has worked for me before. It's like my body even forgets about it. It's like my body even forgets about the taste or even the experience. So it really does help. It makes you stronger. So that's all for today, folks. If you've reached this point of watching, thank you so much. And for more content like this, make sure you subscribe down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Adios.